Reach high, aim high, and obtain.
We are going to a Dr. Joe Dispenza week-long advanced retreat. So based on the emails we have received to date, because we're actually going tomorrow on our way traveling, I thought it'd be good to help people that have never gone to an event to kind of see how we're prepping based on the emails received. Because of the YouTubes I've seen out there, they don't really say, well, this is what I took and this is why, and I felt like it'd be good to help other people. So what we did is we each got a journal, because they said get a journal. But the reason we got one like this with the spiral is because, and this one's mine, I got us all the same one, is because this will actually fold around. And I know for some people that may not be something that is a big deal to you. For me, it's a very big deal to be able to fold it around and itemize and streamline my space. So I love that. Plus, this is special paper that when you write on it, it won't bleed into the other side, and it's supposed to be acid free. So this will withstand the test of time, along with the leather, and it's got this pretty embossing that they did by hand on the journal. But you can see this is how it comes. It's a ruled notebook, 300 pages. It's that high quality paper. It won't yellow with age, which is great. And then of course it's a hard leather cover, and it's a standard 8.5 by 11 American size.
We got that on Amazon,
yes,
right?
We got this on Amazon, and everyone in the family loves this journal. So I got everyone in the family one of these, because that was one thing they required, is you had to have a journal. The next thing I got, because they said get some notepads. Obviously these are notepads. So I got, it's an Amazon Basic. It's a set of, I think it's 10. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this open and give each of us one. So I'm kind of being cost effective with the spend on the requirements of attending the event. So you can see I hadn't opened it before until now, because now we have to separate this out. So one for me, one for mom, and one for dad. And so we've got our 3 now. And now we've got more for future events potentially. Let's see. 1, 2. Yeah, it's just a little bit more. So it is 10. So I'm going to put those to the side. Okay, next is sleep mask. Okay, so this is how it comes. This is how it will look completed. This is actually my mom's. It's by Imzu, and it's a sleep mask. And what it is, and it comes so beautifully wrapped, is it actually comes with a sleep mask and a cover, and it's got earplugs, because I guess some people use these when they're on the airplanes and they want to drown out the sound. We obviously will not be using the earplugs. We're just mainly going for the mask, but it comes beautifully wrapped, so you can keep it sanitary for obviously when you're traveling. So I'm going to put that to the side so you can see this, because I'm opening mine for the first time. But both of my parents tried theirs, loved it, absolutely loved this thing. But the way it's designed is it actually has, and I hope you can see this, my fingers are actually going inside of an indent here that's cut out. So it's designed so that you can literally open up your eyes with the mask on and it not irritate the eyes, because it's not directly on. It's actually sitting on top of the bones of the face instead of directly on the eyes. And then because it's memory foam, it says once you put it on, is press. See here how it did that? I hope you can see it. But you press down because it's memory foam. When you put it on, you're supposed to be able to press it around the eyes. So if there's any kind of light coming through that's not quite what you would like fit-wise, you're supposed to be able to press it down against your face, and then it contours, and then you're good to go. And so what we're going to do is we're going to fold this. Oh, and it's got an adjustable strap. So if you happen to have a large or a small head, this will actually work beautifully. So I'm going to put this in my bag now. So you can see you're actually helping me prep for myself, putting this together. So now I've got my beautiful bag, and I'm just going to draw the string on
I'll
that.
just be honest with you. I've tried that,
Uh-huh.
and I can't imagine a better mask being out there.
It
is that
got
fabulous.
rave reviews, which is why I bought it for all of us, is because of that. Now, the next thing we bought, this is actually bought my mom and dad, because they said for the event, you might want to bring like a neck roll or a little towel or something to kind of put under your neck for support. And so this is actually, I think
For the
it's
laying
memory.
down meditation.
Yeah, for the laying, because you do sitting, walking, and laying down meditation. So for the laying down meditations, is that bamboo? Is this bamboo, or is it just the cover? Oh, maybe it's just the brand. I don't know which brand this is because mom and dad actually bought this. But they bought one for me and one for mom. And you can see here it's memory foam, but it's very lightweight. So this will actually, and I've already tested, it's going to fit in my backpack because I'm going to put all of this in my backpack so that we can easily travel between the room and the ballroom where the event's being held without having our arms weighted down with all the stuff that we need to take. Now, the other thing I got, and I know some people be like, you got to be kidding me, but I heard that some people, they start having crying that goes on as part of their emotional releases and experiences. So what I did is I went on Amazon and I found some handkerchiefs. So I bought this one, and it's a handmade handkerchief with, I think it's like 4 layers. It's by AVO. And here's actually the box it came in so that you can see what it looks like. But that's how it came in. And it's a handkerchief, extra soft, durable, skin friendly. It's supposed to be organic cotton. It's the pink color I chose. I thought that was the prettiest one. It's 4 layers, and there's only one that came in the package. But part of why I bought this is, 1, the quality of the handkerchief. But 2,
Oh, that's funny because we're in the pink group.
oh, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, we kind of know in advance which group, but that's not normal. That's only when you select certain boxes that they call you to get clearance, is the best way to put it, to attend the event in case you need any additional help. But yeah, that's cool. I think I never thought that was meant to happen, obviously. But anyways, it came with this beautiful bag. But I knew we all kind of needed handkerchiefs. And me and Mom, we're ladies. We like being ladylike. So I bought an additional set of about 12 handkerchiefs that was on Amazon. It has this beautiful edge to it. And I washed these and I pressed them all so that when we go to the event, one is I'm going to fold this over so it actually fits in this little bag here. So that folds up into this beautiful bag here. And then I'm going to put the handmade one that actually came with this bag in here. And the reason is this will keep all of the handkerchiefs that we may or may not need in here for use. And it keeps it sanitary, but at the same time, beautifully presentable and usable.
Love that.
And
Love
so
that.
that's why I did what I did with this. The next thing is it does say for the walking meditations that you need headphones. So I purposely went out and I bought this Sony set, and I bought one for each of us. And everyone online raved about the MDR-ZX110 Sony headset. And actually, both my parents already tried theirs, and they were like, wow, this thing's phenomenal, because the sound quality was just amazing, is what they told me. Oh, wasn't wanting to open there. So we're going to open mine together here. If I can get it. Oh, there we go. It's over here on the side. I'm like ripping the side when I need to be coming in from the other side. Okay, so this is how it came. Okay, so obviously directions. And I've actually already read the directions on my mom and dad's. But there is a left and a right side. And basically these fold out like this. They just rotate out. And then back here on the side, this is an L. And over here is an R in red. So make sure you've got it aligned as to which part is the left and right side. Actually, that's pretty good. I have a small head, so I was worried if it would fit. It didn't expand at all for me, Mom. How small my head is. But anyway, so these just roll back up when not in use. But what I purposely did is I also bought this, which is a case to store it in. So when it's not in use, it will keep it sanitary, and protected. And see here, it fits right into the slot. How
Love
awesome is that?
Love that.
Yeah.
So convenient, so protective.
Yeah, and because these are very quality Sony headsets. And actually, I'm going to get a felt because I bought special felts that I'm going to put on mine so that I
like
can
that.
just wind it up. You want one, Mom?
I would.
So I'm going to get, obviously won't do it now. I bought a special package of Velcro that have both sides to it so it can attach to itself. And it's so wonderful for organizing. Now, because we'll be using our iPhone 10s, I'll put the adapter in here, or I'll leave it attached to the end here so it'll connect to our phones. Because that's another thing. You have to download the Telegram app and the Mind Matters app. And it was just yesterday. So the event begins on Sunday.
So we got it on Thursday.
So we got it on Thursday. So you have a timing reference point as to when you get that final event email. And it actually says final email for your event. It has the code that you need to download. For our event, it was 4 different meditations that is in the Mind Matter. And you basically click on which is your event. You put in the code, and then it gives you access to the downloads for the meditation that you want to download it. So obviously when you're there, you're not having to figure out how to get it downloaded. You've already got it ready to go. I'm also going to put the instructions for it right there. So that way I'll always have it with the headset. But this is going to be great. And I think I'll put a little label that I use with my electronics here so we can distinguish ours. Okay, so that takes care of that. And then, because we're going to be there for a few days, and a lot of people I saw online mentioned their concerns with hydration. What I'm doing is I'm actually taking a few bags of this for us, and it's coconut water powder because it's got all the electrolytes that one needs, as well as it's got aspects of it that really help with hydration. And this is actually supposed to be pure 100% coconut water that's just been dried, and it's supposed to be young, fresh coconut. And I've actually tried fermenting with it, and it worked. What I'm also doing is I also have, and I got this a year or so ago for free as part of my purchase of some herbs and stuff from the Global Healing website. And they sent this to me for free, and it's awesome. And it's basically silicone bottom, silicone here to protect it, but everything else is 100% glass. Even this part up here at the top.
Wow.
Let me open this. This whole piece here
Oh, how nice is that?
is 100% glass. Even where you drink out of is glass. So everything that's actually touching your beverage, see, even though this is a silicone seal, it's going on the rim. It's not touching your liquid. So it's all 100% glass. And it comes with a little blender, food grade whisk piece. Yeah, I've got it right here that you can put in your bottle. But I figured if I wanted to take a drink, this probably wouldn't be best to take with me, because then every time I took a drink, everybody would probably be turning around going, what's that noise? So that's the only reason I'm not taking this to mix my coconut water. I figure I'll just shake and stir and do it that way. So this is what we're doing so far for prep on that end. But I also want to add that, at least this is what I'm doing, is I'm taking some Tool TUL pins, a black and a blue, and then I'm taking some Micron 003 because that's the smallest point that they make, because these are both black. These are all acid-free archival ink pens, so that my archival notepad over here will have archival ink that will withstand the test of time, as well as be a great writing tool. Now my mom is also taking, I'm taking a jacket because they say wear layers and stuff because it's going to be extra cold and all that fabulous stuff. Is she's taking, what kind of pen is this, Ma? Inner Gel Pro.
And that's a archival.
Yes, archival. That's what we use in this. We use everything that's archival, ink and pen and
So
stuff.
I'm taking extras of
Yes.
those, yeah.
Yes, and we're both adamant about taking extras because if something were to happen to one's writing instrument, they need a backup. So she's taking this layered blanket here that'll keep her warm. So that way, when we have
They
the
recommend
layers.
layers as well as
all the
blanket.
women that we have talked to, and there's been, what, 2 or 3 different women in regards to the event, and they're all like, it's cold, you want layers, and I'm talking lots of layers, but nobody ever says what the temperature of the room is. So we're doing our best to prepare for the multiple layers. Now, what I'm also taking is this right here, and it's my Outdoor Products, is the brand, backpack. It is designed for use with a bladder, but that's not what I'm going to use it for. The main thing is it's got deep depth to it, so I can put all of our notebooks in here. I can put the pillows. I can put everything that we need in this one bag, sling it over my shoulder, so I don't have a million things in my hands going back and forth at the event. And so that's our
yoga mat.
Oh yes, the yoga mats are upstairs. I do have my really old bag, it's about like that big, and it has 2 yoga mats that I've acquired over the years, and I'm going to use one for Mom, one for me, and then we got something coming for Dad, and we're going to do that so that we can have just a little bit of a layer between us and the floor. It's not going to be hugely cushioned, but we figured it'd be a good way of protecting our clothes from the floor and be at least semi-comfortable on the hard floor for the laying down meditations. And I have a special bag for the 2 of those. And was there anything else? I think that's
it. Thank
that's
you
the
so
majority
much. You did a
of
fantastic job helping us.
Oh, well,
prepare for this
family.
event.
This is a family event. We're all very invested in it because we haven't had a vacation in a while. So we're going to have a whole bunch of fun doing this. And we'll let you know how our prep beforehand went, as well as any tidbits from our experience that may actually help you for next time or improve our experience for next time, because I have a feeling we'll probably do this more than once.
We ended up going to the event, as previously mentioned, a day earlier. That gave us the time to get settled. And the thing that we ended up loving the most is it gave us a day to find everything, where all of the event locations were going to be, how to navigate around. And the big surprise that I gave to my mom and me was we went to the spa and had a bit of a spa experience and got relaxed and really in that vacation mode in preparation for registration and the event start the very next day. I can definitely say on reflection, that was one of the best decisions that we made. Don't necessarily need to do the spa experience, but the getting there a day earlier, if at all possible in your schedule, hugely made a difference for us. Here, we're sharing some of the photos and videos that we took while we were there the first day, during the retreat, and then I've also even got some videos of a lot of the dancing that occurs, and it is just so awesome. What you're seeing here in this imagery is the path one has to take, potentially, in order to reach or get to the spa, or if you're coming back from the room to go to the or near the front of the resort where checkout's also located. But this is the path that we took to actually get to the spa, and it goes under the waterfall, and the water is so loud that you can't really hear the people standing next to you when they're talking. And I literally am muting the sound because it was so loud that it's overwhelming sound-wise. But I have to admit that for one that is visiting there and you're really wanting to take the time to relax, it's very relaxing and soothing to be around so many negative ions, and then all the plants and the greenery and the sound and the very tropical environment, because it's so warm when you're outside of where the event is being housed that you can basically walk around in your short sleeves, which you can see a lot of the people are doing, and even shorts, because it is very much the atrium. That's what they actually refer to, as there's different atriums at this resort convention center. And so it really provides that perfect environment for a person or a family or a group that's wanting to to maintain a self-contained environment location without having to travel all over the place. But on the positive, you do get your steps in because this place is so massive. And I do mean massive because of all the different convention rooms for the events. There was actually other events going on at the same time as this Dr. Joe Dispenza week-long advanced retreat that we were at. And it'd be like everybody would be just surging out of the rooms at the same time almost. But it's just such a large location that you'll get your steps in. If you're concerned about steps, we way went past the 10,000 every single day practically, except for the day of arrival, because we weren't having to do so much back and forth like we did during the event, because we wanted to really decompress very much as a family. And so we would, get our food and we would be on the outside of our balcony area, because I purposely set it up so that the room was located in the atrium area. So we had that very quiet relaxation, and it was so wonderful to, after we had each of our event moments, and then we had our breakfast and lunch break, and then finally in the evening, is that we would get together and we would talk about our experiences and what happened, and did this work for you, did this not work for you. And it was just very much of a collaborative discussion that really facilitated, I think, both our individual and our collective experiences. And it was awesome to have that. So day of registration is where we received the exciting news. The event was called Renew All. I thought that was just so awesome. And it was a symbol of the phoenix per the image that was shown. So it was very much almost the rising from the ashes, reborn. And we made some fabulously great friends at the event. And then after registration, we walked around some more. And then we had the first event and meeting that night. We also met some awesome people that we still communicate and are friends with even now. At the end of the event, we certainly learned what did and didn't work for us. In regards to the journals themselves, the Spiralbound, we loved them. I will point out though, it didn't necessarily work at this particular event for me. And the only reason why is because I already have a journal that I use on a routine basis. And so because of that, I found that this didn't work for me at the event. However, if I hadn't already had a standard journal that I use on a routine basis, I would definitely say this journal would have worked. I love it. And when my current journal has been fully used, this is definitely my next go-to journal as part of my routine use. In regards to the notepads, we actually never brought them out. Now, there were a lot of people around us that I did see have their notepads out, and they were using them to take notes during the event. But because we had been through, there's a program in California called PSI, or People Synergistically Involved. And because we had done the intensive and the progressive at home, we were very much already aware of a lot of the information that was presented. So there wasn't, for us at least, anything new that would have facilitated us bringing out our notepads. However, if one is new to this type of information, I can see them potentially using those notepads. So in that sense, if you're kind of new to the information, I would say that would definitely be something that we want to take. And if not the notepads, then potentially one could use the journal that I've got here to do a combination of both journaling and taking notes, so that one wasn't having to potentially swap out or have multiple additional items one's carrying. One could just have the one journal spiral bound, or whatever particular setup that you would prefer that would be conducive to your experience. I do want to clarify one thing, which is, although we did not bring out our journals that we bought for the event or these notepads that we bought for the event, the big element that we did learn at the retreat was the breath work. And that was the advanced breath work that are found also in the advanced meditations that one can only get if they attend the week-long advanced retreat on the Dr. Joe website. So that is one thing I do want to clarify. The sleep masks that we bought, specifically the Mzu sleep mask brand, was phenomenal for the event. We all three absolutely loved it. I am so glad that I found the brand, that it was designed the way it was, because it just made the experience so much better for us, because we were really able to go into that place that we needed to really facilitate our next steps. That I think if we hadn't had the masks, even though they do dim down the room a bit for the meditations, I think it wouldn't have been as beneficial as what we found it to be if we hadn't had the masks. So that was a definite like A++ for all three of us in regards to the masks themselves, and the fact that we purchased these particular ones. And actually, even after the event, we're still using them. And we use them on a routine daily basis. It's almost like we went to the event and then we all agreed with each other that every day after that, we were like, we are going to meditate every single day as a family and create. And it has been wonderful. And because of the event also, it ended up changing a lot of things positively in my life. And I probably need to do a video on changes that occurred for me and the family. Because of what happened at the event for us individually and collectively, we all ended up making an agreement that together we would meditate going forward every single day. And we have adhered to that agreement with ourselves and each other because of the benefits that we are seeing and feeling and noticing, and the changes that we've had in our lives that really facilitate us saying, this is what we need to be doing going forward, which is meditating. The other items we took, one of which was the bolster pillows, we found it actually worked best for us, at least for me, at night when we were sleeping. Not so much in the ballroom. And that was only because of the way that it worked for my specific neck and body and everything. We also ended up not using the yoga mats I have, even though we did take them. The reason why is because when we were entering into the ballrooms to do the meditations, they actually had these huge big bins of clean, flat sheets that they allowed us as attendees to grab, and we would lay them out on the ground so that our clothes did not actually touch the ground, which was really nice. The one thing I wish we had would have been a really thick, like, traveling camping mat or inflatable mat, which I saw a lot of people had, and I definitely would have benefited from that, both me and Dad, because we were like, that floor was just too hard. And even the yoga mat, it just wasn't thick enough because there was no cushion. It was cement with a carpet on top, and that just made it really hard, I think, on the bones of the tailbone, for example, and the back of the head especially, because it was so unyielding. In regards to the handkerchiefs, I'm really happy that I did what I did, because when we went to the event, I actually ended up giving some of the handkerchiefs, specifically the white ones, away to other attendees, simply because I felt the need to emotionally, like something came over me and I was like, this person needs a handkerchief. I also saw that there were people crying, and so I handed out handkerchiefs. So that was one thing that I feel like there was a universal voice that told me I needed more handkerchiefs than what I actually needed for myself. And I ended up giving quite a few away, actually. And I even told one person, I says, this is a handkerchief for you. And I says, that's so you will always remember this moment. And it was during one of the healings that had taken place, and it wrapped up. And after, they told everyone, we're finishing up now, and it was decompress and, give thanks and everything. With the ending of the healing, that's when I handed them the handkerchief, and I literally told them, I said, so that you always remember this moment. And that was one thing that I'm really glad and thankful that I was able to do. The headsets, awesome. Cannot say enough how fabulous that these headsets worked out. The sound quality was perfect. They were comfortable in the head. They were not too tight, not too loose, and there wasn't a lot of outside interference with the headsets. And these were great. Since we ended up doing 4 walking meditations at the event, and it was the last 4 days of the event, these ended up working out so awesome for us, both individually and collectively, with the sound quality, with how everything went. I cannot rave about these headsets enough. And I'm so glad that I bought the case for them too, so that there wasn't any pulling of cords or any kind of issues in regards to making sure they stayed in a good condition when they were in my backpack and I brought them out for the meditations. So awesome. The coconut water, so glad that I took it. I ended up consuming it like there was no end in sight. Definitely went through quite a few bags while we were there, and it helped make me and the whole family stay very hydrated throughout the event. there wasn't as much concern as I think there would have been if I hadn't had the coconut water. So that for us was a very good decision that we decided to go this route of taking the coconut water powder, because it really made a difference to make sure that we received and retained the needed hydration for us to have a really great event. The water bottle I chose to take with me did awesome as well. I felt really great about the fact that everything was in glass, so I wasn't getting any kind of residue or taste from having plastic potentially in the water. And there are a lot of videos out there nowadays that talk about plastic and it leaching into the water that is being consumed. So I'm really glad that I took the 2 purchases that I did here. I was able to, because of my backpack, put a bottle on either side of my backpack, one for me, one for my mom, and then I was able to put my dad's in the main pocket of my backpack, and that ended up being great. So we were very much hands-free. So that is something that I would definitely take into consideration. They do provide water there, but I have to say I'm happier we took the approach that we did with the coconut water, because I don't think we would have stayed as hydrated otherwise with the breaks and everything, because also that allowed us to have our water right there anytime we needed to take a drink, whether it was in the middle of the meditation, in the middle of the speeches being given. So that was one thing I'm very glad, is we weren't constrained by situation as to when we could or couldn't have our water, which I was really glad too. Pens, as I mentioned, we really didn't use our notepads or the notebook. However, I did use these pens to maintain my normal journaling activities, so those still worked great. And if I had used the notebook and the notepads that we took with us, those would have been awesome, and it still would have been a great decision. And I would say, as we did here, take a backup pen, even if it's just one, because things do happen. When we went to the event, we definitely ended up using the blankets. I ended up taking a blanket and also my coat, because I wasn't sure which one would be most comfortable, especially for the temperature of the room. And I ended up actually leaving my thick, heavy coat and taking the blanket instead. And so me and my mom were both using a light coat, and then we were using the blankets because the rooms did get very cold. Even my dad had a jacket on because the room was very cool. But I noticed it only got that temperature really, really cold during the meditations, almost like to help people stay more awake than they probably normally would have been. The backpack worked phenomenally awesome. It ended up being able to carry everything we needed it to. We were very much able to stay hands-free, that I think otherwise we wouldn't have. And so I'm really glad I made the decision to take the backpack, because it allowed me and my mom to have our water on the outside, so they were easily within reach, grabbable to do some quick hydration without feeling like, have to run outside and miss maybe some of the information because I didn't have water on me. But because we took our containers, because we took our coconut water, it ended up being a great decision to have done all the items that we did here. Ideally, you'll find this as helpful as what I wish we had had before we'd gone to an event, and that it'll help you make very strategic decisions in regards to what you do or don't want to take with you. And so that way, when it comes to actually attending the event, you'll be very prepared, ready to go, confident with what you've taken, with what you have on you or not, so that you have a fabulous week-long advanced retreat with Dr. Joe and friends. There we go.
Y'all have a beautiful night. Thank you so much.